A new congressional committee on China held its first hearing in the US House of Representatives. The new high-profile committee underscores the emphasis both Democrats and Republicans are placing on a harder line towards China.
The single issue that seems to unite the most divided House in decades is the rise of China.
It's not a polite tennis match. This is an existential struggle over what life will look like in the 21st century. And the most fundamental freedoms are at stake.
While protesters attempted to disrupt the first hearing,
Joe McMaster, why don't you pause for a second? You'll be given additional time and we'll take care of this.
the new Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party pushed on, with strong bipartisan support.
Over the last 3 decades, both Democrats and Republicans underestimated the CCP and assumed that trade and investment would inevitably lead to democracy and greater security in the Indo-Pacific region, including in the PRC. Instead, the opposite happened.
The hearings come after a tense few weeks in bilateral relations following the Chinese spy balloon incident, and the recent admissions of the FBI and the Department of Energy that coronavirus was most likely started by a lab leak in China. These hearings showing US Congress is ready to take a more assertive posture against China.
I think you can punch holes in the Great Chinese Firewall. I think we've not made a concerted effort, a public-private effort with Silicon Valley firms leading the way.
In a bitterly divided Congress, China is the one issue that unites all sides. While representatives push to encourage a harder stance from the White House on China, they're also hoping these hearings will encourage a tougher stance on trade.
The economic policies of the Chinese Communist Party represent a clear and present danger to the American worker, our innovation base, and our national security.
Just because this Congress is divided, we cannot afford to waste the next 2 years lingering in legislative limbo or pandering to the press. We must act with a sense of urgency.
Annalise Nielsen, Sky News, Washington, D.C.